So I got the SB12 Turbo here in front of me. I just turned everything on, and I'm going to kind of show you guys how I've been working with it, the workflow. I'm definitely still putting that together piece by piece. So what I have right now is I got whatever sample I'm using goes into the SP404 Mark II. Speed that up, resample, speed it up even more, sample it into the 12. And then I have the SP404SX here that I'll show you what I'm doing with that in a little bit. So the first thing, which totally tripped me up when I got it, is you have to go to here and then 14, which is dynamic buttons, which means velocity sensitive. If you keep that as activated, you're not gonna hear your pads. At least that's been my experience. So I want to turn it off. Enter. Now we should be able to hear things. Let's see how loud everything is. Not too bad. Okay, so let me kind of get everything where I had it. So I believe I had this here. So that's the loop right there. I know that I want my tempo. This is another thing I've realized is tempo. It saves all the sounds, just like an SP404. You can turn it off without saving anything. Everything will be there. But I've noticed tempo kind of gets a little wonky. So let's change tempo back to where I had. I think I want 86. Perfect. Now let's look at some drums. So far, definitely a notable characteristic of the SP12 is the drums. So I believe I had kick right where it is. We'll see exactly where that is in the sequence. That I had all the way down. This, I believe, somewhere around there. So this is going to be the three same samples that I had on Bank 4, but I have them going out of a different channel, and I'll show you why in a moment. So we're going to tune these. Let's see here. That should be coming from... Alright, you guys will understand in a moment. So let's get these where they need to be. Okay, so where I want these, let's see here. So now this is going through the SP404SX. Let's see here. Turn that up a little bit. And I'm going to use the isolator on it. Take out mids, take out highs, boost the lows. Now I have a filter on the SP12. Now here's something crazy about the one that I picked up. If I go to my drums, see the kick? So let's get an idea. If I reach back here to the back of the unit, I actually have a low pass filter. Came like that. So let's see. Tempo is set good. Segment 1. Let's see what we got. I want a little more juice on the bass. Bump that up. Even just the volume from the SX should give us what we need. We're not peaking. There we go. Autocorrect. That 1.8. That's why I want it, I think, here. Tambourine is higher in this segment. Okay, so I'm getting ahead of myself here. So there's a lot of little things that I did on this project. You you saw how I have everything tuned and how I had to set the tempo, kind of find the pitches for the samples. So there's a really cool setting that was kind of game changing. So let me show you here on the hi-hat. So I'm gonna go setup 23, and we want to go to special option. Special options is 23. Let's scroll through. We want to, actually I missed a step. Setup an 18. Setup 18, and I'm gonna select the sound. Let's do the hi-hat. And I have it set to it's either gonna ask you to do number 1, which is tuned, or number 2, which is decay. And what this is in this special menu is it's gonna give you a greater range for tuning, either higher or lower, or decay, tighter, looser, those kinds of things. So I like tuning. So nope, we want it on this one. That's fine there. And then we are going to go to special effects 23. Let's find the one that we want. Give me a moment here. Still getting used to it. I think it's, yeah, there we go, 20. Click on sound, hi-hat. Now I can go low. And that's going to give me way more range. So again, that setup 18, push enter, making sure that the pad you want is going to have a greater range for decay or tune. I want tuning. So then I go to special menu and I select the pad that I want for option 20. Let's see what that is again. 20, yeah, so cool. And then it's going to give me 3 options: low, mid, which is normal, or high. And it gives me, greater ranges for all those. But I'm going to leave this on mid because I don't need to change the hi-hat too much. But that's what I did for these samples. So when I first put these samples into the machine, that was the lowest it would let me go. Right there. But now, this is the same sample here. I'm able to go that low if I want to, which is just awesome. It makes the machine feel a lot less limited altogether. So let's get this back where it needs. Just the bass, the horn, and again, that's going on through channel 7 into the SP404SX, and then I'm using the isolator to just bring out the bass. And I can take that isolator off. One thing I like to do is maybe like number 10. Stuff like that. So again, this is the first beat that I've made on the SP12 Turbo. I've got a lot of SPs right here. This is the first beat that I've made on the SP12 Turbo. I'm loving it so far. Couple of things. So it seems like the machine is supposed to get as hot as it does back here. Like it literally gets hot where I can't rest my finger there, which is concerning, but apparently how they made these units, these are from the 80s. So they're older technology, but it produces, from what I understand, even that heat has something to do with that warm, saturated sound that we have. So this unit's amazing. It's super clean. Apparently all of the buttons and switches have been replaced with the knobs as well. And then it's got low pass filter and resonance for outputs 1 and 2, which is so cool. So super stoked on this. Excited to see what I'm going to make. Also, another thing that's quirky is you can't, I don't know how loud this is going to be. Not too bad. This is like a preset sound. You can't delete those. So like if I go to setup 20, delete sound, select it, push yes, and then go out of it, it's still there. So I'm realizing I sample in bank 4, and then automatically it just goes to the next pad. So I sample my sample, it's here, next sample here, next sample here. If I fill up all 8, I'll take that 8th pad, which is that right there, and I'll copy it to bank 3, and then record the new sample onto here, and then just swap them around. Now what's really important to note is you can only affect truncating on the original pad it's recorded to. So if I had that issue with that horn. I wasn't able to do any truncating because I copied and moved it to a different pad before truncating. So a couple of quirky things, but this machine sounds so good and it's so clean. I was worried about what's gonna get hum. I was worried about the 5 seconds of sample time, but as you can hear, I mean, you can make full tracks. You just kind of got to get creative, have your tools. So, and in light of copying, again, those pads again are the exact same sample moved to a different pad. So they're on bank 4 and bank 3, but they're just assigned to a different output. So that way I can have that output individually go into the SP44SX to get that filter without having a huge S950 or something like that. And I've always liked the isolator for low pass filtering on the SX anyway. So, well, thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you found this helpful. I haven't found much on this unit here. There's little tidbits here and there, but everyone likes the SP1200 more. So as I learn some things, I'm going to definitely put more info out there. I'm loving this machine. Peace.